We're going to be looking at creating a custom GI pass now. So we want to create a new empty pass first, and we'll rename that GI. Now the easiest way to do this is to basically enable the global illumination receiver and transmitter options for all the objects in the scene so they participate in the GI calculation. So to do this, we want to select the background object partition, get property override, and we want to add parameters into that override. So we want to add both the global illumination transmitter and receiver parameter. So using the shift key, I select both of those, and we want to enable those both on the override. So now we have our receivers and transmitters defined. We need to enable on the light the actual GI option. So select the light, modify shader. Now on the photon tab, we have a GI flag. We need to turn that on. I'm just going to bring up the intensity here to 1,000,000 just so we can see the results. You don't want to forget too, you need to enable GI options for the render option. So on the render options, under the photon tab, there's a GI option you want to enable. And I'll draw a region there. And to see it in the region, I need to make sure to have it enabled for the region as well. So region options, there's a photon tab there too. You can enable GI. So now you can see the GI calculation is taking effect. To get a little bit of a better look, I'm going to increase this to 250 to increase the map size, and let's just blur it a little bit, radius of 16 to smoothen out the look. So there we go, we're getting a pretty decent GI result. On the light, we actually probably want to change the energy color to the same as the light color, just so it matches up a little better. There we go. The next thing we want to do is we want to extract just the GI photon in a separate pass. So I'm going to do the table as an example. So let's take the table and create a new partition with it. So with it selected, partition new, and we'll just call this photon receivers. Now you can see that the GI turned off for that object because we don't have the override turning on the transmitter receiver option on that new partition. So an easy thing to copy it. So select the override, Control C. Now select the photon receiver partition, Control V to paste it. And you can see we have the same override added that has the caustic transmitter receiver options. And now we want to add the photon irradiance shader to this partition, so we extract only the photons that are falling onto the table. So select the partition, get material, Lambert. I usually do this as a quick way to get to render tree of that partition. And we can quickly go to the illumination tab, photon irradiance, and plug that into the surface port. So now you can see we're extracting just the photons that are landing on the table surface. So if we look at the RGB and alpha, we're getting a nice GI lighting effect there that we can comp on top of the regular direct illumination pass. So the last thing we want to do is actually turn off primary rays for the other objects, so they don't render in the pass. So we can go to the background object partition override, open that up, add parameter, and quickly mark the primary rays, and we want to disable that. And there we have our GI pass.